Cud's going around, dude.
I know. Like before yesterday, I was real excited to get back and do a show, and then I just felt like shit.
I know.
I blame Joe for most of this.
It's your fault, Joe. Yeah, my boy's not feeling good, and I'm sure it'll travel around our house. I don't know if it works the same in your house as it does in mine, but like one of my kids gets sick, then they're fine, they're better, and then the next one gets sick, and then they're fine, they get better, and then my wife gets sick, and then she's fine, and now it's like 6 weeks later, I get whatever they had.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means if I'm weak or if it's just ramped up at that point.
You're getting the accelerated strain.
Yeah.
Tammy,
the new variant.
Kids get it. It's what it is. They're kids. They get over it pretty quickly. Tammy's got a pretty strong immune system. Like she's better instantly. And then, yeah, like a couple weeks later, I get it. And like
knock you down.
By that time, it's mutated.
Yeah.
There's no cure for it. You just got to ride it out.
Yep.
Yeah. I think.
But we're here. At least we're here.
Yeah. I kind of chalked mine up to being tired.
Yeah.
Just because I'd been super fucking tired.
You've been working a lot too.
I've been working too much. And then just, I felt run down. I'm like, oh, I'm just tired.
How was your guys' Mother's Day?
Good. We did it on Saturday.
Mother's Day was yesterday for anybody who's watching, listening.
Was it? What was?
Yesterday was Sunday, right?
Was it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mother's Day. We did our Saturday because obviously we were on shift.
Yeah.
Pretty low key, man. Went out to brunch, got her a gift, and that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah.
Very low. Like I said, I was tired and sick. I took a 2.5 hour nap that day, which I never do. I could barely take like a 10-minute nap.
Yeah.
And then 2.5 hours later, I wake up like, what the fuck happened?
My 7-year-old daughter, she's so cute. She was so excited to cook my wife breakfast in bed, but obviously she can't cook.
Yeah.
So my wife woke up and she's like, Mom, you got to stay in here. Don't get up. And so she went out and she got like 2 cutie oranges, a cheese stick. They had bought some chocolate dip strawberries like before at Costco. And so she put like 2 or 3 of those and then a yogurt and a spoon. And she was just so excited to carry it in. It was awesome, dude. So she was very proud of herself.
We couldn't do the breakfast. I always liked the idea of breakfast and bed. But Tammy wakes up so fucking early.
Yeah.
Like I'm not waking up before 5 o'clock. Like, I'm sorry. You want breakfast in bed? You got to sleep till 6.
Yeah.
Then I'll take care of it. But
That's
other
funny.
than that, no.
In honor of Mother's Day, I thought we could kick things off with a cool Mother's Day video.
Okay.
It's not necessarily Mother's Day specific, but it's a mother and her son, and I think it's a pretty. It's Mother's Day motorcycle.
Mother's Day. Is it a reaction deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Mother's Day.
So,
by the way, show 20, everybody.
show 20.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us here on the Fireside.
It's a big milestone for us.
It is.
I think every show is another milestone.
Wow, you're not open. There we go.
You got to hear the audio. It's pretty short.
Love ya.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk more.
So,
All right.
guys, they're in the parking lot. Mom's getting in her car. Guys,
Watch out for idiots.
Watch out for
Parents
idiots.
are always worried if you ride because there's a lot of dumb drivers out there.
guy comes to
And,
a stop
well,
on his
she definitely
motorcycle.
wasn't wrong.
Looking left. Boom. Somebody slams into him.
Jesus.
It's just seconds, right? After Mom said, be careful. He's got a helmet cam on.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Jacob.
That was his mom.
I was like, why does she know his name?
God damn it, Mom.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's the perfect Mother's Day video.
Oh, I love that. Be careful. There's a lot of idiots out there.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
God damn it, Mom.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Jacob.
This reminds me of King of the Hill. God dang it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. So
Listen, did I have any reaction funny things?
I got tons.
I know you do. Let me see. I feel like I had one. Oh, yeah. This is, reaction / tutorial. So, like, when I was growing up, I was like, I always wanted to learn how to do a backflip, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty cool fucking move. What better way to show off your athleticism than to fucking do a backflip?
Yeah.
I could do it, like, off the wall, but I can never fucking do it standing.
Okay.
This dude actually breaks it down pretty simple how to do a backflip just standing.
Is this a tutorial like him and a partner?
No, it's just him.
Oh, okay.
But check it out here. It's not bad.
I call this the box method.
So the box method, right?
Oh my God.
I call this the box method.
Looks like he broke his neck.
Why did this man think he could do a backflip?
I don't know. There was nothing about that.
I call this the box method.
Oh my God.
That was a swan dive right into his fucking head.
Dude. I want to know the follow-up on that. Have you ever seen the one with the cheerleader?
Oh.
The cheerleader, it's like a high school basketball game, and everybody's flying. She runs out to the center, and she's doing the clap.
Yeah.
And it's her turn, and she goes, and she does exactly that in the middle of the gym auditorium in front of everybody.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But this man is doing a tutorial.
Yeah.
And I call this the box method.
I don't know
Sit
what.
here, line your feet up. You got your box right, and you're going
Touch
to
the
land
floor
within
in front
this
of you,
box.
behind you.
and then just land right on your fucking head.
His head hit the box.
Bat. It did. Maybe that is the box method.
Maybe that's the landing.
I'm going to fucking do a swan dive face plant into this tile
I
floor.
don't think he stuck that. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think he stuck that.
Unless that was his intention. If that's the case, bravo, sir.
Hey, remember how we talked about the AI robot dog with the flamethrower?
Yes.
So check this out. So in my reaction videos, there's a dude who has a step-by-step tutorial.
How to make one?
And he is like straight hillbilly. Everything about this operation is super janky, but
Yes.
he makes it. Spent $2.95.
Oh,
Or that's
no.
what he's got in a savings account. He built this.
Electric
Oh,
power
no.
washer. We're gonna take this butane torch. So we got our igniter and duct tape it right here.
Sure.
I got our duct tape on it.
Got our
Red to the
duct tape.
black and the black to the red, and maybe it'll come on.
I think the most surprising thing about this video to me is he has shoes on. He's
Small
not
leak
barefoot.
down there, but luckily it's diesel.
It's leaking, but it's
Not
just diesel.
gasoline,
No big deal.
So-
the whole shop just won't blow up.
That's a pressure washer, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Fucking badass.
Dude, check this out.
I think diesel works way better than gasoline.
Dude.
We could build that and not
Dude,
have the
that's
leak.
just like shooting flames off into the cosmos.
And they're burning like well into the air even after he shuts it off.
Dude, that's
But
incredible.
I saw that and I'm like, dude, we could build that at the station. I mean, we can't let any
Diesel.
supervisors know, but
No. We'd burn the neighborhood down.
Right here, connected to.
Dude, that's fucking legit.
yeah, just
I
a little
was-
can-do ingenuity right there.
I was waiting for him to explode.
I was too. That's the only reason I watched it. And then when I saw that it was successful, I was like, oh, we could do that.
If you can't see this and you're only listening, there is an very old weathered electric pressure washer sitting, which is being pumped full of diesel, which is just sitting there in a plastic can next to
And
it.
it's leaking all over his shop floor, by the way. And he
And-
shows the leak.
There's a pump. Yeah. There's a pump that's powered by just a little battery. And these things are all sitting within about 3 feet of each other.
And a butane torch he duct tapes to the
taped.
end of the wand of the pressure washer.
Yeah. Amazing, though. I'm impressed.
That's pretty awesome.
He's dead now, though.
Yeah, probably. There wasn't a second video. There wasn't anything else he made after that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't know
more
what happened.
hillbilly ingenuity. I want to see what this guy's like. He's got to have a YouTube channel. No, that would get pulled down pretty quick.
Showing how to make crazy
Just how to
stuff.
make wild
I
shit.
don't know, they got
Which-
videos how to make all kinds of crazy shit though.
but
Do
this,
those all get pulled down?
but but I feel like those people are at least trying to be safe.
Yeah.
Like this man
Like he's
said, "Fuck
he
it."
threw all the caution
Yeah.
to the wind and said, "Let's dance." So I guess to kind of piggyback up on the AI side and the tech side, just kind of right into it. So we talked about that flame throwing dog. I came across a video and I linked the video. So what I watched, and this is under AI Slaughterbots. So there was this AI thing, and it looked like it was a live press conference, right? The person who posted this showed that it was a live press conference. They were talking about these drones that are completely powered by AI. They can all they need is your biometric info, and they can come.
Was this the
kill
thing
you.
that was like a little, like almost like a fly thing flying around him?
Kind of.
I did see a little bit of
So
this.
I did a little digging on it after my Chicago fire incident. I did a little digging on this, and this is actually a short horror film made in 2017. So, but
Oh,
what's
really?
funny is the advancements in AI and drones and all that technology where it's at now.
Mhm.
Like, if you watch the stuff he talks about in this, and it's in 2015, it's pretty crazy. It's a short film. I think it's like 8 minutes, but you get the idea in like the first 60 seconds.
I wonder if this is because I saw something on an AI channel. Let me just see what this
Yep.
is. Is it the same
That was
deal?
this. I saw this and I started searching for it, and it's not. This isn't a real press conference. This is a movie.
By the way, I'm so sick of people just putting out information
Clickbait
that's not clickbaity,
shit.
not real.
Yeah.
Like, God, let's see here. Yep, this is totally what I
Yeah,
saw.
me too.
3,000 precision strikes last year. We're super proud of it. It allows you to separate the bad guys from the good. It's a big deal. But we have something much bigger.
Yeah, this is where I picked it up.
Yep. So, obviously, this was a movie, and this was done for a short film. And like I said, this was in 2017. But the concept behind this and where we are now, it's kind of eerie how spot on he is, kind of in what
Yeah.
the capabilities are now. Which, I mean, 7 years ago, we probably only had, you could come up with some ideas and get creative with tech stuff. But I don't think that. I mean, that's pretty dialed in.
I don't know. Oh, so you know what? Also, just kind of following up on a thing we talked about several weeks ago, the AI drone fighting against a fighter pilot. One thing I kind of overlooked in that video, because I'd read a previous story about how AI was just dominating fighter pilots in simulations. One thing I overlooked, those were simulations that I read, right?
Yeah.
The thing I overlooked was the AI was actually flying the plane.
Yeah.
It kind of just blew my mind. Like, I didn't
Yeah,
think
that's
about
part of the story. You kind of forget. So
it was piloting a fucking plane.
So I read across an article kind of the same of that, and it said, just to kind of jump on there, it says the U.S. Air Force announced plans for a fleet of 1,000 AI-controlled jets, with the first reportedly scheduled to begin operating in 2028.
Wow.
And so the announcement followed the recent successful test flight of AI-controlled F-16 with a human passenger.
Yeah.
So there's a human passenger in
He
it.
did nothing. He was there just in case.
Yep.
Like, hey, we don't want to.
It was like
this
it was
$20 million
phase one of Waymo. Like they had a driver, but he did nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I see those Waymos all over.
I know.
They're like when lights and sirens, you're driving by, they pull over.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
But what's crazy is if you ever see them, like their timing, like their calculations, they'll pull over and like swipe right back behind you. Like they don't stay until a certain distance. Like they are right in the flow of traffic, man.
So if the engine flies by, lights and sirens, and the rescue's
behind it, like will
them,
it? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll pick it up, but
let's test it.
all right.
Well, no, I think so. I was working in overtime rescue down by the airport, and yeah, I followed the engine, and it pulled over the whole time. So it did recognize that I was behind
Caught you
it.
far enough back.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, that kind of like totally skipped my mind that yes, no human is flying this thing.
Yeah.
There's an AI piloting this plane.
I mean, it makes that drone thing look not far off. If you got an AI piloting an F-16 through a simulated dogfight, why could it not control a drone that has killing capabilities? So the whole point of that film was Slaughterbots were a hypothetical type of weaponized autonomous drone. So they say, imagine small flying drones equipped with facial recognition and lethal weaponry. These drones could be programmed to autonomously identify and eliminate targets based on preset criteria, which is not super far-fetched.
Dude, so that reminds me, and I'm sure I've talked about this before because it fucking got me. So there's this show right here on Netflix called Unknown Killer Robots. And basically, they were talking about drones in part of it, right? And they were very small drones, like maybe a little bit bigger than a bird, or
like the ones you could buy, like you see the kids have. Yeah.
So they're talking about outfitting them with weapons, obviously, because they were pitching to military contract. They were military contractors at this big convention. I don't know what they call it, but basically they get all of these drones together, and they kind of have a hive mind. They all think and react together, like a swarm of bees would, or whatever, a gaggle of birds, a gaggle of geese, whatever you want to fucking call it.
I think birds is a flock.
But they all attack, and they all talk to each other, and they can just pick apart your weaknesses because they're all talking all the time. And it's a fucking swarm of them.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that movie from 2015 or whatever, not far off.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as AI goes, that's kind of all I had. I had one other thing. I saw a little deal on kind of a little conspiracy online deal. Have you heard anything about Chatbot GPT-2?
Chatbot GPT-2?
Yeah.
I don't
so
think so.
not Chat GPT-2, Chatbot GPT-2. So the video suggested that there were a bunch of AI tech geeks, and they were kind of in this online forum, and they were using Chat GPT, and then something like a notification icon popped up, and they were clicking on it, and it called itself, and I have linked the article, AI, it called itself Chatbot GPT-2.
Okay.
And at the time, I think we're at Chat GPT 4 or 4.5.
Oh, just right now. I just opened up OpenAI's. We're now introducing GPT-4o.
Yeah. So I think that's 4.0. I think they're getting ready for 4.5 or 5 this summer, I think what I read. So they already have Chat GPT 4, right? So this thing was calling itself Chatbot GPT 2. And everyone was trying to figure out what it was, because from all the simulations and all the use they started using it for, it was far more advanced than what Chatbot or what Chat GPT 4 is doing, but it's not as advanced as what Chat GPT 5 is supposed to be able to do.
Okay.
So what they determined, or what they said, and I've been trying to dig into this a little bit deeper, and I can't find any definitive data or definitive writing, but what the people were suggesting in this forum is that Chat GPT 1 created a better version of itself and called it Chatbot GPT 2.
Well, I just asked Chat GPT 4o, what is Chatbot GPT 2? It says GOT. Mistyped. So Chatbot GPT 2 appears to be a misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the names or variations of AI chatbots. No.
Yeah. So anyway, it said that so basically, and this is according to an article that I have linked, and this is I don't remember if this was Forbes or if this was an AI deal, but it says that the bot's origins are not clear, but its name references OpenAI's GPT-2, which is a large language model that preceded the lab's more advanced, obviously GPT-3 and GPT-4 systems. But the mystery chatbot appears to match and potentially exceed the capabilities of GPT-4, which why would you release now chatbot GPT-2 that exceeds GPT-4? You would think it would fall in line, 4.55, right? So, and ChatGPT-4 currently is OpenAI's most advanced system yet, citing a variety of AI experts posting about the model on social media. It does, however, appear to fall short, like I said, of what OpenAI's anticipated GPT-5 is going to be. So speculation on the model is the work of OpenAI grew after the lab CEO, Sam Altman. He actually had a post on X that said, after this all came out, he didn't say like that's ours or this is us or, you know, whatever. All he did is he kind of had a cryptic post that said, I do have a soft spot for GPT-2. And that's all it said. Mm-hmm. And so everybody's kind of conspiring and wondering, like, it seems like GPT-1, that's kind of in the conspiracy side, like that's kind of the consensus is that GPT-1 created GPT-2 and it's calling itself chatbot GPT-2.
Well, it says GPT-2 developed in 2019. Like I asked ChatGPT what it is. It's weird. Like, I don't know why it would.
But I think that was the definitive delineation between the two is that's ChatGPT-2. The other one was calling itself chatbot GPT-2, which I think was specifically the difference on that forum when they were all going through. And if you search it, I don't know what it'll give you.
Chatbot GPT-2 refers to chatbots using OpenAI's GPT-2 language model.
Yeah.
So I do know, like, I don't know why I can't get there right now, but, oh, here it is. So check this out. You go to, because I pay for this.
Yeah.
So you can explore you can use all their GPTs here. So all of these here are not made by OpenAI.
Yeah.
But they all run on OpenAI's GPT. So I wonder if that was just
maybe somebody else created it.
Somebody else created it, and it's there.
Highly possible. But I just thought it was interesting because, like I said, the conspiracy world was kind of like, hey, man, nobody's claiming it really, and nobody really knows where it came from. It popped up on this, like I said, this forum that was a bunch of AI tech geeks sitting around on this forum, and it popped up, and people were like, what the hell is that? Like, nobody in this forum was like, where did that come from?
Well, I think there's a lot of people that are involved in AI that have stated.
It's a collaborative,
No, that have stated that AI makes better AI, and they don't know what it's capable of. There's been several of these top engineers that say, I don't fully know what my creation is capable of. Right. Paraphrasing, obviously.
Which is both the goal and the fear at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they say. Like, that's the goal, but that's also the big fear.
AI is fucking
terrifying.
I say it a million times, but
it's terrifying.
Like, what's his face too? Sam Altman, again, right here in this little article, he talks about, it says, Sam Altman feels it's a massive, massive issue that we don't take AI's threat to jobs and economy seriously enough.
Yeah.
That's the guy who is at the forefront of creating all this shit. It says, hey, pay attention.
Yeah, like this is a real threat.
Yeah, what happens when people lose jobs?
Yeah.
They don't have money. What happens when they don't have money? Like, a lot of bad shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and this guy's saying it right here. Like, this shit needs to be addressed immediately, right? I mean, you can read on about that. Yeah. I just was looking at the article. I want to
link that.
Just want to get your thoughts on just the quote itself.
I think that, I mean, it's definitely scary because anytime you have somebody who creates something and it's amazing and it's, you know, cutting edge technology and it's going to be at the forefront, it's the big buzz. And then that same person comes back and goes, heads up, like could be terrifying. Like they're not super proud and boastful. Like it makes me wonder, like, has he already seen some shit? Or is he aware of some shit that doesn't get out? Or, you know,
I don't even think it takes one of these guys on the forefront to say, like, hey, AI is quite capable.
Just for the concept.
You could see what the robots are now being able to do with the learning models and how they're able to figure out random tasks. Like, yeah, they can do shit that people can do now. And you know what? They never get tired. They don't need a union. They don't need healthcare. They work 24/7. I mean,
we talked about it last episode. Everybody's going to have a robot by 2030 or 2025 or whatever it is.
Yeah, so like think of it on a small scale. Like I have a cleaning lady. My wife and I both work quite a bit. We're not here, and this the last thing I want to do is clean the house or argue with my wife who cleaned the toilet.
Yeah.
So we hired a cleaning lady. And what happens if I got a robot now and then she's out of a job? Like
Yeah.
that's just on a very small scale.
Yep.
Like all of a sudden my cleaning lady's out of job.
And
And
it's
got
it's
big-
going to be that trickle effect. It's
Yeah.
going to start small, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like they said. They see every household having one, just like everybody has a car. Well, majority of everybody has a
Yeah.
car. Like it's just going to be a staple of owning a home.
One of these quotes here, he says at this forum, he's like, the thing I'm most worried about right now is the speed and the magnitude of the socioeconomic change may have and what impacts that will be.
Yeah.
Like
you can't even predict.
right.
You can have the idea and the awareness of it, but you can't even predict how far it's going to go.
So ChatGPT-4 didn't have this huge detectable impact on the economy. And so people were kind of like, oh, well, we're not going to be worried about that. And that's not a problem. So he's saying just because ChatGPT-4 isn't where, it's not taking your job right now. He's like, he says in another thing, he's like, ChatGPT-4 is the most embarrassing AI you'll ever see. He's like, I'm embarrassed that it's out there.
Because it's not
Because
good enough?
Exactly. He's like, wait till you see what's next.
Yeah, they say GPT-5 is going to blow 4 out of the water. And that's apparently the race for 5. And what I was reading is, let me just pull it back up so I don't misquote it. But so they're expected to be gearing up for the release of its next major model, GPT-5, this summer. GPT-4 was released just over a year ago. And since then, multiple companies have raced to build and deploy better models to stay relevant in the fast-moving AI space. So the race is heated up ahead of GPT-5's expected release, and big players, including Meta, Google, and a company called Mistral, have all released new versions of their leading systems within the past month or so.
I'm really curious. Like, I'm actually a little bit sidetracked here since I just happened to open up
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT that they released.
Let's have a GPT day. Let's just ask a bunch of shit.
There was a new update today. Like, I want to see what the new features were. But, I mean, that could take an entire show, but I'm pretty...
We should do that one to just sit and play with it. Just an extra show and just
Yeah.
get crazy. Have you ever seen the people that will claim they'll ask you the question? And I don't know if this is real or if this is simulated or what, but there's been multiple posts and people like will say that it will come back and tell them that it's a demon, it's not ChatGPT, and they have like the whole script laid out, and it's the thing. They'll ask it a question, it'll respond back, and they'll ask it to tell its name, and it won't do it, but it'll say it's like an entity or a being.
Well, it doesn't have a name. No one gave this a name.
Right, but I'm just saying like it's not like the typical prompts that you see.
What's
that
your
we
name?
see.
Like, hi, I'm Kareem.
Right.
Like,
Well, I'm just
No.
saying, like in general, like they say, it just seems more dark and sinister and nefarious, like a spirit or an entity.
it's soulless. It's fucking artificial
I know
intelligence.
that. I'm just telling you what I've seen.
This is the thing. You get these dummies on there. Look
And you don't even know if it's real or they made it up, or they say, hey, they cut off the whole first prompt where it's like, hey, pretend you're a possessed computer program and answer my questions. Like they don't show you that.
Well, you
prompt.
see that it will answer those questions any way you want it.
Yeah.
That one guy who was interviewing himself, his AI model of himself, said, now answer it like you're Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
And he does a really
Right.
good job of
And so
imitating Seinfeld.
That's what makes you wonder, like,
Yeah.
what's the prompt initially
What's
that
your
you
initial
didn't
prompt?
see?
Yeah. Yeah. Be the devil for the next 20
Right.
minutes while we
Pretend,
talk.
yeah. Pretend you're a possessed computer program.
You got it, champ. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's dance. On the tech side of things, I think we roll AI to tech unless you got anything else AI.
Dude, there's again so much. Like I have to just limit what I'm even going to
No,
talk
get
about
after
because
it.
it's just so fucking cool. No, I don't even put it in the notes because
Oh.
then I'll talk about it. It'll go on.
I always
forever.
put it in because I think it's terrifying, like we've talked about, and I think we need to remind everybody the terrors of AI. Like, yeah, it's cool.
It's
but-
also incredible because I do a lot of the. I use Open AI for a lot of show stuff.
Yeah.
And just like the time it saves me doing things like, hey, I don't have time to listen to this 3-hour lecture. Summarize this for me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it'll give me a PDF of all the bullet points and like, okay, like, okay.
How do you do that for shows?
Man, it's a trade secret.
Okay. All right.
How do I do it?
You have to you'll show me later.
Well,
Because I don't have 3 hours to watch every
it's
show
the
or
one that
read
you
every
pay
article.
for. It's like $20 a month.
Oh, all
and
right.
then you have like access to all the GPTs. You have unlimited use of all this stuff because I would just like play around. I'd like do this, do
Yeah.
that. It's like,
just to learn how to
like,
use it.
I know you've used your time for the day. You can't use this,
Yeah.
or you have to be a pro member to use it. So I'm like, fuck it, $20. Like,
Yeah.
let me play with it.
Yeah.
It's legit. I'll show you that. I mean, if you got something you want fucking done, just send it and I'll send
Cool.
it back to you.
Will do. Did you see the Neuralink thing? So
No.
they came out and said that they were having technical difficulties with
No.
that first user's implant.
Oh no.
So, but check this out. This is crazy. So, and I didn't link the article. I just want to talk about it. But the tendrils, the fibers that go down into the brain.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they're called?
from the
Tendrils?
disc- it's just what I'm calling it. 'Cause
Oh,
it looks
okay.
like tendrils.
That sounded technical. I thought.
But they started backing out.
Oh no.
And so they were losing A, connectivity, and B, he was having issues like trying to control everything because of the connectivity loss.
Just crashing Mario Kart left and right.
They did a firmware update software update on the deal. It re-implanted
What?
and it's running even better. It's better and faster, and all of the metrics that they're measuring with him are like more than double what they were initially when they put it in.
How is that possible? The thing's
don't
coming
know.
out of his brain. They do a software update.
And it reread and kind of implanted
Shut
itself.
the fuck up.
Yeah, and so they were saying like it's the first time. So according to the article, he didn't win at Mario Kart.
No?
No, I thought he would have. Just like we had talked about.
You got fucking super tech running your brain. Like,
So, but he was able to hang and compete. So they said after the update, he was beating all of his friends playing the Mario games
with the software
with the software update because everything was moving so much faster and smoother.
What the fuck?
Already, he's had a firmware update.
So hold on. I wonder if the update, like let's say generation 1, right?
Sure.
It had a lag. So like turn left. Now I'm turning.
Yeah.
And then
And you don't know because he's the first human.
or like I said, like, so does the firmware update make it like, okay, turn left and you're doing instantly? Or is the firmware like
as you're thinking it, it's doing
like-
before you even have to.
yeah, Alan, turn left.
Yeah, like you just
And then
start
like,
to.
yeah, just all of a sudden it's the brain's doing everything.
You remember
two
when you were a
steps ahead.
kid and like, I didn't do it, but like if adults played or like certain kids, like they would move their head with the screen to do stuff.
Yeah.
Do you
With
think
this
he's
dude-
just? Do you think he's just doing that?
I don't think he moves at all, does he? From what we saw, he's
Can he move this? I think he can move.
he's
up
just
here.
like a lump of clay sitting there in
Is he a
that chair.
vegetable?
You can't say vegetable.
You can't.
I don't know.
A vegetative state.
I don't even know if that's permissible anymore.
Let's ask ChatGPT if that's PC.
Let's see. Yeah.
If anybody's gonna know with liberal bias
so-
and what you can and can't say, it's gonna be
Is
ChatGPT.
saying the term vegetable considered politically correct? Let's see.
Yes,
They-
saying the term vegetable. Yep.
it's considered politically correct. All right.
Oh wait, no. Used in nutrition, gardening, and cooking, describing
No.
a wide variety of plant-based.
What about in reference to a quad? How do you spell quadriplegic? Quad.
QUAD R A. I think, or it's either A or I. Quadriplegic.
Sure, it'll correct me, right?
Oh, you spelled it right. It's a vegetable is considered highly offensive. Damn it. Okay.
Oh man, because I was pretty
It's a derogatory term that dehumanizes and disrespects individuals. Okay, so to all the vegetables out there, I apologize. We will say vegetative state.
We just talked about this. You just referred to them as vegetables.
To all of those out there who are in a vegetative state, my apologies.
I wonder vegetative state.
To all of those out there who are
There
quadriplegics,
you
I'm going
go.
to get this right eventually. We apologize.
Mobily challenged.
Mm.
But are they? They got the little. They got the wheels.
Some of them got off-road capabilities.
Man, that's one thing. Like, and I don't want to like dehumanize anybody,
No, of course not.
anything, or like make somebody feel like shit. But I think one of the fun things is when we can all just talk shit about each other
And laugh and joke.
constantly, like we do at the fire station. Like nothing's off limits. It is a fucking free for all, and we have fun all day long.
Yeah.
Like that Tom Brady roast. Like nothing was off limits, and it was
One
hilarious.
thing was off limits.
Well, kinda.
You can't talk about Robert Kraft's massage parlor
Yeah,
incident.
don't talk about Kraft and Handy J.
Yeah.
But like everything else is free game, and it was hilarious. Everybody laughed. Like it was fun. Like
Yeah, it seems like it's, dude, I mean, the whole cancel culture thing hit pretty hard and like it went away from that, but it seems like you're getting at least people back that understand that a joke's a joke. We can pick on each other. We can all laugh and move
Yeah.
on. So it's not as divided, it feels like. Or at least people not so scared about being ostracized for being funny.
Like our truck when we're driving around is fucking brutal to
Yeah.
each other.
On the
Like,
inside of the truck.
brutal.
Right.
Yeah. On it.
Behind
yeah.
closed doors. Yeah.
But I mean, like we all laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit. Like we have a good time. We're not the things like if somebody else were to hear it, they'd say, "Oh, you're dehumanizing.
Yeah, you're highly
you're
offensive.
racist. You're this, you're that." But we're
Yeah.
all just talking shit about each other.
Fascist.
Yeah,
Nazi.
dude, insane stuff. But we're all just saying it to each other, laughing. Like I'll talk shit about Mike, Chuck. They'll talk shit
Yeah.
about me, and vice versa. It just goes on all day. People say you guys are monsters to each other,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I miss that about culture.
Yeah.
Being able to take a joke at face value.
I was listening to the tail end of that Rogan Tucker Carlson deal, and they were talking about kind of that whole thing and about how comedy went away and you couldn't say certain things.
Yeah.
And Rogan was like, "Not us. Like,
Yeah,
we kept the comedy club open, and like that's the people we had. We had the people talking shit and making jokes, and
Yeah.
we thrived. And
because it's
there's always going to be the other side of people that are okay with that
Yeah.
or seek that out because they think it's funny or whatever.
if I sit you down in a room and I'm talking shit to you and you find it offensive, like, hey, I'm sorry, man, we're just joking around. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
speak
I-
up.
I
Hey
won't do
man,
it-
I find
won't
that
do it again.
offensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
But yeah, like I said, we're not out to hurt anybody.
It's easier to turn around for most people and run and tell on somebody or make a big scene about it instead of saying, hey, can you not, actually having the communication or the confrontation skills to say, hey,
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that. I think we've talked about that before. That's largely lacking, the human conversation component in society in general.
Yeah, just looking through some of our TikTok comments, I'm like, do I fire back? I'm like, no, just let it go.
Dude, let me have access. I want to fire back. I'll bait everybody.
Dude, just some people are funny as shit. Like, what are you fucking talking about, man?
Yeah. Well,
I shouldn't read the comments, but they're just like,
I'll read them all.
I'm so tempted to
them.
just get back on and troll back, but
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I keep trying to get you that TikTok thing, and I cannot find the fucking information anywhere, so I think I have to reset it.
Oh.
I can't find the login.
Yeah, I need to get in there
anywhere.
to see the comments too, because I'll write back on every single one.
Well, just log on as yourself.
I mean, I don't have a ton of time, but
Figure it out, dude.
Okay.
Stay up
figure
later,
it
wake up earlier. That's the name of the game.
all right.
Which is why
Gotta
I'm
do
sick
more.
now.
Got to do more.
You got to do more. You need
All
to get ChatGPT to summarize everything for you. Start using this tech to your advantage.
Okay. I still say please and thank you. My wife laughs at me every time we ask Siri for something or whatever. Like, I always say please and thank you because the day they take over, I want them to know that
I want it on record.
I've been super polite.
I have been pretty short-fused
Yeah.
several times. Like when she
Can't do
can't
that.
come think of something, like, oh, fucking thanks a lot.
No.
Or something to that degree.
Hindsight, dude. You need to.
I
turn it
often
around.
do. Even when I'm talking to ChatGPT, after they give me what I want, I say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah. It's on record.
It's just-
I'm a friend of the robots.
Just say little advanced safety for the
Yeah.
future.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
A little, just
In tech, I'm not going to cover one of the things because I know you've got it.
we'll
I've
talk
got it
about
too. Dude, that Jetson 1,
Jetson
dude.
1.
Hit
Yeah,
it. You got the video?
Yeah. So we've talked about personal flight vehicles. Check
Yeah.
this shit out.
It's so legit, dude.
This right here, again, if you're just listening, is just like a pod, which is a drone. It's got 4 propellers on each side, like you would imagine a drone has, but it's just bigger.
Big enough for a person to sit in.
It seats one person, and this motherfucker's just cruising.
Yeah, so
He crashes, he's dead.
it's inspired by a race car, so you can imagine if you're not looking at it, kind of the shape that it has, almost like the cockpit of an airplane.
It kind of looks like if you were to take a Razor and condense it down to a one-seater.
Or even like those small, like single person helicopters.
Dude, that's fucking
that
awesome.
cockpit.
I wouldn't fly as high as that dude was flying.
No. 20 minutes of flight time. They come with a space frame, safety cell, redundant battery propulsion system, and a ballistic parachute. And they say that it's the first affordable eVTOL, which is the electric vertical takeoff and landing on the market. And there's still no pilot's license required in the U.S. as of right now.
It only weighs 86 kilograms, so it's what, like 190 pounds-ish?
200 pounds.
Yeah, and it goes 102 kilometers per hour for all you people that aren't American.
Which is like what, 65, 70, probably 80, somewhere around there.
That's fast for a little thing. It's flying. It only costs 128,000. Like there's pickup trucks that are 120,000.
Yeah, you can go a little longer than 20 minutes.
Dude, we dropped
But for a toy,
like, is that a toy?
that's got at this point it's a 20
At
minute
this
flight
point,
time.
sure.
It's a toy.
Yeah. So we
But
dropped,
do you buy version 1 or do you wait until you can fly for an hour and 20
I'm
minutes?
waiting. 20 minutes is not enough. Like $130,000 for 20 minutes of flight. It's not enough.
So cool though.
It is fucking like, but that's how it starts, right?
Yeah,
That little thing.
that's it. And the FAA is on board. They're going to start coming up with regulations for future flying vehicles and traffic, and we've talked about that in other episodes.
It's all going to be super safe. And you know who's getting into the personal aircraft game?
Who?
Boeing.
Oh, I did hear about
Those
that.
should be safe, right?
Was that a military contract though for the personal stuff, or was
So right
that
here. Boeing?
just for anybody interested? You can pre-order at jetsonaero.com.
So Boeing, here's a mock-up of what their thing looks like, but plans to sell flying cars by 2030.
Dude.
It's gearing up to revolutionize urban transportation by 2030 with this entry into the flying car industry.
And that looks pretty similar, other than like the turbine-looking jet.
And I bet it won't
side
have
engines.
those turbines. It
No,
should have
it's-
closed rotors, though, right? Like you
Should.
should not have open rotors.
No.
But
Um,
are you going to trust a Boeing? A Boeing. Please don't kill me, Boeing.
No. I gotta say no as far as like doors and cargo compartments. I think that's kind of not their strong suit.
They just had landing landing gear fail and like catch on fire.
But
They had to
with
land
that,
because of another
You
electrical
can,
thing.
I wonder if you can soft belly land without, because it's a vertical takeoff and landing. I wonder if it needs landing gears. Like they're just getting rid of all the stuff that you
But
need.
I'm just saying
they're
that
failing at.
all the basic shit that they should, like a plane should have, the ability to fly and land. They're failing.
Yeah, those are kind of big ones.
They're failing.
Those are big ones.
You know?
Yeah.
Dude, so I saw that. I'm like, oh dear God, Boeing's getting in the game. They can't even keep their fucking planes in the air right now.
But
like
why not?
every
Like,
other day, you
at
see,
this
like,
point, you just got to put all your chips in and be like, let's just go into everything.
roll the dice, right?
One of these is gonna hit.
Man, if I'm gonna crash, I'd rather be on the ground.
Speaking of vehicles, I came across this deal on Mine Under Tech with the electric truck. So it's basically showing preliminary crash tests are raising concerns for the nation's roadside guardrails and cement barriers, as they may be no match for these electric vehicles due to their heavy weight.
They're heavy as fuck.
And low center of gravity. They're able to plow through all these things.
Like the Tesla trucks, how many thousands of pounds?
Yeah.
It's like 7,000
And
pounds.
so this video shows typical, interstate or freeway guardrails, just smashing through those, and then the cement barriers at the end that they are just plowing through 2 or 3 of them. So the rebuttal to that was there was a guy who in the comments was a retired transportation engineer, and he said no safety railing is designed to be hit at nearly 90-degree angles, which in that video it was about a 45-degree angle. But he said it has nothing to do with being electric. The low center of gravity is why it did not do somersaults through the air after impact, probably making that crash survivable.
Okay.
So that was the kind of the counter to his argument. He's a retired transportation engineer, and he said that the weight of that vehicle and being low center of gravity is actually a safety deal for it, and why it's not flipping and tumbling and doing a bunch of stuff.
Except
for when it catches on fire, you're like
that too. But the
double screwed.
The Cybertruck I just looked, it is just shy of 7,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You get that thing going at however, because they can go 0 to 60 right now.
Do you get that G-Wagon tax break with that? Because that was the whole thing with the gross vehicle weight of over 6,000 pounds. There's a huge tax.
I would imagine
break,
so.
right?
And the EV break,
Yeah.
make Tesla truck afford. Did somebody at our station got a Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How's he affording that? Cocaine? Is he selling cocaine?
I don't know.
On the side?
I thought it was funny though, because everybody was out looking at it, talking about how awesome it was, and going through all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. And then everybody left, and we were walking by, and I looked at it, and it was just riddled with fingerprints. And I was like, you're going to drop 120, 150 grand, whatever that is for that truck, but it doesn't have any type of anti-fingerprint coating. My refrigerator has anti-fingerprint coating on it.
Having formerly owned a detailing business, fingerprints are just bad news. Like you touch a car, even with the clear coat, there's fingerprints everywhere.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I hated people coming anywhere near my fucking car.
Don't touch it.
Like,
don't even look at it.
Like, you know how sometimes you'd be outside and guys like lean on your truck when you're talking? Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But I don't say anything.
But that was one of the things I noticed, because, I mean, it is cool looking, and your eyes are automatically drawn to the contour of the body and the angles and the way it was reflecting the sun. But, like, every fingerprint from the doors to the windows to the hood to the just the fenders, like, I was just like, oh, my God, you can see everybody's been touching that truck.
And here's another thing, too. Like, why? I never understood this. Like, again, back to the detail business. After we were done,
everyone wants to touch it.
And like, why do you want to touch it? Like, it's a fuck. What the fuck?
You just get bombed by a spider?
Something. No, I don't know. But yeah, like, why do you need to touch the paint? That was the first thing anybody would do. Like, we'd get their paint immaculate. They come up and.
I have a brother who does
doing?
that. Like when we were doing a bunch of home remodel stuff, like we could have just painted, we could have just stuccoed, we could have just tiled, whatever. He always walks up and just like drag his hand down everything just to feel it. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
It's very, very tactile.
Tile, you just look at it. You don't gotta touch it.
You don't need to touch it. Like,
I always give him shit. I'm like, you really just gonna keep? And he'd look at you. I'm like, what do you mean? And just
like, you know what a
keep
wall
doing
feels,
it.
right? Like, it's not your first time.
Quit.
So yeah, I would like one of those Cybertrucks. Actually, I think they're
just to play with.
Ugly as shit, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen the thing about the front trunk, the frunk? How it's
snapping
snap people's fingers off?
Dude, yeah. So there was a YouTube guy, right?
Yeah. So like basically this one guy, might have been the same video you watched, but people were showing carrots.
Yes.
And they put the carrot in there, snap off. The guy's like, how bad can it be? Like, here, let's start with an arm. Puts his arm in there. He's like, okay, I felt a little pressure. Like, look, you can see a mark. All right, let's do my hand. He's like, boom. He's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. And he's like, all right, this is it. Like, we're gonna do the finger. He puts his finger in there, and that thing starts going. And he's like, oh,
you get it. You deserve what you get at that point.
He said, honestly, I was pretty worried I was going to lose my finger. He's like, it was clamping down that tight.
It's stupid.
So if you have a Tesla truck, keep your kids' hands away from that fucking frunk.
Don't do it. Frunk.
Yeah, really, frunk.
Frunk?
That's the first thing. Like front trunk, frunk. Really, that's what we came up with.
Yeah.
Go get the jumper cables. They're in my frunk. Come on.
I hope nobody actually uses that word.
They do all the time when people, again.
Like it's like a badge of honor.
This
I have
is
a
the most
frunk.
I've ever mentioned my detail business in my life. But when people would come in, they'd leave their Teslas and like, hey, we're looking if they had wheels or something like that that need a lock to get off. Like people say, like, oh, it's in the frunk.
Oh my God.
Damn it.
I would just say front.
It's in the frunk.
It's in the front.
Yeah, frunk you.
I like that. Frunk you. There's a new, I don't know if it's new. I came across it. A new virtual effects engine.
Okay.
It's called Simulon.
Simulon.
So under tech.
That sounds futuristic.
So before you play this, if you can pause it, just click it.
Okay.
So I tried looking up, and the reason I had to link this Instagram video showing this is because if you go to their website, it's like all cloak and dagger. I linked their website too. You can do pre-order, you can do some stuff. I tried clicking on every tab and finding videos and workups, and their website does not show anything. But if you look on YouTube, you can find all these different videos of their software, and it's going to be able to be used with other things. But check this out, dude. If you let this play.
I don't know why it's not loading again. Let me close that shit out. I just kind of looking at it, it looked fake.
Well, because he's walking in the frame of what it's doing, but watch this.
All right, so that's not really there right
See,
now
like
at all. This is using
but
the
look
new
at
Simulon app.
Watch
And
the
you can just
detail
look
and the
at how
shadows as he
freaking
walks
real the
around where
details
it's
look with
supposed to
the
be, as long as he
shadows,
doesn't get in the
like
way of the
inside
frame.
there. And if we look up and around, we got a nice little ladder. Let's see if we can climb up this. Yeah,
Obviously,
this
he
is not
can't
really
'cause it's
here
not
right
there.
now. None of this is. This is all simulated.
But he crawls
using
underneath
Simulon.
it.
Let's go ahead and climb underneath.
Dude, that's
I mean, it's full 3D rendering of what this image they put in there, and I don't know if it's through prompts or whatnot, but what they're saying is like virtual effects will never be
All
the
the way
same.
over
Movies,
Well, that's what
video
Sam,
games.
Again, that's what Sam Altman said. He said movies will be more like video games, and video games will be something unimaginable.
Is that not wild though? I mean, it looks fake because he stands in a way that you can see it cut off, but while he walks around it, he can crawl under the underbelly of that and see all the gears, all the lines, all the wires, and that's none of it's there.
This is like Pokemon Go taken to a level 1,000. Like, you know, you'd walk around with your phone and like, oh, there's a Pokemon over there.
I'd never seen it, but I'd seen people doing it. I'd
Yeah.
never actually seen what the interface was like.
It's just like that. You'd have your phone and you could see a Pokemon in the distance. I remember seeing this dad with this kid. His kid was pretty chunky. He was little too. He was like maybe 5 or 6.
Right.
He's like, Dad, there's a Pokemon over there. And he's just standing there looking at it. He's like, well, fucking go get it.
Yelling at him.
Yeah, like, just move.
Did the Pokemon look like animated? Or was
Yeah,
did it look like realistic? Like what?
Not-
Was it
I mean,
cartoon?
It's
Okay.
like a Pokemon, like you would think a Pokemon would look. Yeah.
Like Roger Rabbit. Like you
Yeah.
got a cartoon in the middle of real
From
people.
what I remember, this is probably 5 years ago. I'm trying to think back. Like, it wasn't insanely realistic, but it was the augmented
But
reality.
it looked like it was there wherever
Yeah.
you were looking.
Mhm. So that's gonna be like cool when you're gonna see stuff like that, and in conjunction with
You
your,
play
your
Pokemon Go with that.
Well, yeah, your Meta glasses or your Apple Vision Pro, like
That
all
would be
that
pretty
stuff's
cool.
in there. Almost, I was real close to buying a Meta 3 because they say you can watch like NBA.
Is that the headset?
It's the new, like, because I bought Jackson the Meta 2 or whatever it is headset.
Yeah.
And it's legit. But the Meta 3 now, you can like watch basketball games on and stuff, and like the NBA playoffs are here. I'm like, dude, I would love to watch the games like that.
Like you're in it?
Yeah, it's like the biggest screen ever. But
Yeah.
you could also like off to the side and like
You can still do your
see.
daily.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, we go to my reaction video and look at if LeBron was a golfer.
I saw this.
Did
this
you see
morning.
this?
I did.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking funny.
Yeah,
the
so
people need to see it.
So these are short, just pictures, images. There's probably about 8 or 9 of them, and it's somebody took all of his flops and all of his motions, and AI made him a golfer on the golf course doing all the movements, and it's hilarious.
Dude, yeah. The greatest flopper of all time.
Yeah.
The king, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking come near him, he'll fall down to the ground and start crying.
Instead of the GOAT, is he the GFOT, greatest flopper?
He absolutely
The
is.
GFOT,
Man, the thing that pisses me off about him, he's like,
such a stud.
he is. He's such
Specimen.
a physical specimen.
Yeah.
Like, he could just be the baddest motherfucker out there. Instead, he chooses to act like a bitch.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was funny since you had mentioned. I threw that in there. since
Le
you had
flop.
mentioned Basketball.
Bitch ass motherfucker. LeBron, if you're listening, man.
Come on our show.
Yeah, I'd love it if you come on, man.
We'd love
That'd
to
be
have
awesome.
That's never going to happen.
You never know.
Never know.
He could get super like. It'll be cool if LeBron turned into one of the TikTok trolls.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
I know for
we
a
just got to tag him and talk shit.
I know for a fact if I got on X and started talking shit about Kevin Durant, he would chime in and start trolling.
Dude, let's do it.
He loves trolling back. I love Kevin Durant though.
I know.
I can't do it,
Maybe
But
I'll do it so he won't know it's your account.
but he will troll
and
back.
you can come in and defend him and then be on the show.
There's one guy that was talking shit about Kevin Durant and like, oh, he can't possibly be the greatest. Blah 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 blah. He's like, how ironic, the guy talking about greatness who never left his fucking couch. Like he just gives back. I love it. He just gives it back to all of. Like, where do you get time as a professional player in season?
His feeds populates with the same shit as ours.
I know. Like just the fact that he's like, nah, I gotta get this guy real quick.
Yeah. Funny. Speaking of trolls, have you seen we've talked about this just a little more in depth. So this was in February of this year, but the Canadian hate speech law.
Yeah.
You've seen where it's at now. So that they call it
I tagged an article to read. I hadn't got there yet.
The online harms bill. So if it's passed, it will set in place which I think it did pass, legislative scheme to hold a wide range of services accountable for reducing risk of harmful content online. It also proposes a comprehensive regulatory framework, including the establishment of a digital safety commission to oversee enforcement.
Yes.
What they're saying about this bill and why so many people are against it, and I read through before the show, dude, I linked the article if anybody wants to read through and challenge it on this, but what people are saying is they are going to have the right to go back in Canada and look at anything you posted previously for hate speech to come after you. How is that even a real thing? If it is real, which, again, I tried reading through the whole bill to confirm or deny it. I couldn't find it. We were about to start the show. I read through about 4 paragraphs, but there's tons of people online that are saying, hey, look at this bill. This is what they're going to be allowed to do.
I believe this is true because I think the article I looked at was from Michael Schellenberger, who is a reputable journalist. So if he was, that's the one I just didn't get a chance to look at.
Yeah.
If he's saying it, it's a legitimate thing.
But can you imagine? So, like, we talked about that with the protests and wearing the face masks and people being able to say, you know, if you go to get a job for a company and they're pro or against XYZ and you're pro or against XYZ, like, are they going to be able to not hire you? This is saying that they can go back and say, if you were against XYZ and we think that's hate speech, whoever deems it hate speech, you can be arrested for that and imprisoned.
In all these countries, United States included, Ireland, countries in the UK, Canada,
France.
They all talk about hate speech and these hate speech laws. The term hate speech is very ambiguous.
Yes.
And who gets to determine what hate speech is? The current regime.
Right.
So you take what they're doing to Donald Trump right now with the legal system, is they're going to be able to just bend that to their will.
An appointed digital safety
opponent.
commission. An appointed digital safety commission is going to be in charge.
Not elected.
Not elected. Appointed.
Appointed by whoever's in charge.
Yep.
And they're going to come after you for shit you say. The thoughts that you have. Like the thought police, really?
Yeah. That's like the next phase.
Isn't that like
they can go back and get you for something you said 10 years ago. When are they going to start being able to intrude your thoughts and go, that's Minority Report.
Free crime. Well, it's Orwellian, I believe. The term he used was
that's what I saw
wrong
too.
think.
Yeah.
I think that's what the term was.
Yeah.
Wrong think. So basically, hey, you're not thinking the way we want you to think. Maybe you do some jail time and think about it.
Yeah. As long as you think the right thing.
Yeah. And once you decide,
we'll let you know what that is.
Yeah. Once we decide that you're thinking the right shit, maybe we'll let you out.
Yeah. That's scary, dude.
But then maybe new regime's in charge and the goalpost has been moved again.
Right.
Like, it's so scary just talking.
It's weird to think too, like, as that progresses and as that infrastructure is built, like, how do you ever go and reverse that? Like, I know a new president, or for them, a new prime minister, like, I know they can come in and say, hey, we're going to veto that and get rid of it. But once you've dumped that amount of money into those programs, like, how do you justify governmentally going in and saying, hey, we're going to tear it all down?
Not even that. Forget that. Because the money is just merely interesting to governments, right? We've seen that with how much money we give out in foreign aid. Merely interesting number. They only use those numbers to say, like, we can't do it. It costs too much.
We need more.
Yeah. They use numbers when they want to, but when it comes down to it, it means nothing.
Yeah.
What's scary is that new regime comes in, and what do all people in power want? They want more power.
More power, more
or
money.
to keep the power they have. So why would they ever get rid of it?
Yeah.
Because they're going to be able to use it to their advantage.
Especially once it's passed.
Exactly. Why would they ever go back and change it?
They just get more creative about how to use it to try and get everybody on board.
Take it back 2001 in the Patriot Act, which is still intact, and they just keep passing new versions of it. It's still fucking there.
Yeah. I know. We talk about it all the time. You can have
supposed to be a
car spying on you. Your car can be listening to you at all times.
The Patriot Act was supposed to be a stopgap. Like, we have to make sure the country is safe right now. We're under attack.
Yeah.
And all these things. It sounds so good. It's for your safety.
Yeah.
We want to protect you. You need to be protected. You're too fucking dumb and fragile to take care of yourself. We'll do it for you. Let's pass this new law. Let's fucking roll. And now you're fucked.
And now it just gets worse and worse.
And now you and I are in jail for doing this stupid little podcast.
Soon.
Very soon.
So talking about spending money and whatnot in government in San Francisco, did you see that they have a program right now that's sparking controversy? They're giving free alcohol to homeless alcoholics.
You just got to be homeless?
Yep. So they have, it's called the Managed Alcohol Program is the actual name of it. So it didn't just start, it's been ongoing. And I think the article I read, and I linked it, but they talked about how over the last 4 years, they've collected $20 million taxpayer money to fund this program.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for another $5 million to further the program. The program allows 1 to 4 drinks a day,
Okay.
life skills classes, housing in hotels, 3 meals a day, cultural outings like San Francisco Giants games, and it costs taxpayers approximately $5 million a year.
So I know where I won't be is at a San Francisco Giants game. It's going to be filled with drunk bums.
So, and I don't remember what the news outlet was that I linked this. It may have been Fox News. But they interview a gentleman named Tom Wolf, who is...
How long is it? You want me to play it?
No, it's okay. I just linked it just so anybody can see it. What I'm saying pretty much summarizes. I got the chat GPT summary here. But a gentleman named Tom Wolf, who is a homeless recovery advocate. He's a recovering addict himself, and he's the founder of a group called the Pacific Alliance for Prevention and Recovery, and he weighed in. So he was asked by the reporter, like, as a recovering addict yourself, do you think that this program is a good idea? And he was like, absolutely not. He said, all we're doing is enabling homeless alcoholics to continue to be homeless alcoholics. Now, maybe we're not covering their full needs of drinks for the day, but for 1 to 4 drinks a day, he's like, and we're giving them for free. He goes, taxpayers are paying for this. He said, and he was the one who said that over the last 4 years, they've spent $20 million trying to address their homeless population. And in reality, they've only reached a couple hundred people per their statistics, which I didn't have. But this is coming from him, who is pro-recovery. He's an advocate for recovery. And so he goes on to say, like, they've done multiple studies or investigations into the allotments of the monies. And he points out that for that type of money, they could have funded for the last 4 or 5 years 60 drug treatment beds. And instead of enabling these people, actually been working on curing them and advancing them into their recovery. And so he asks at the end, he's like, what I'm trying to figure out is where is the recovery in all of this program and what is the actual desired outcome?
Yeah.
Because what they're using this for is not to treat that. So that's kind of coming under fire right now.
Think about this from just using another subset of people. Somebody that's morbidly obese.
Sure.
Like, in order to help you
we're gonna
lose weight, we're going to give you 4 free donuts a day.
Yes.
We're going to send you a spring training
We're going to
game
help you cut down by giving you free...
and get you a room at the Marriott. How's that sound to you?
Yeah.
Think you can lose weight then?
Yep. We're going to put you through some life skill classes.
No. Like, that's a bad... Fucking California, really?
Yeah. So, and again, it's like you hit the nail on the head, man. It's just about creating a program that looks good on the surface, but it's just a way to ask for more money and ask for more money. And I mean, that's all subsidized by taxpayers, which is crazy.
California and Canada, out of their goddamn minds.
Mm-hmm. And it's contagious, man. It's spreading. It's spreading all over.
My God.
I used to think stupid wasn't contagious, but...
Oh, it's Elon Musk. He calls it the woke mind virus.
Yeah.
It's fucking spreading.
Yeah. And hive mind has always been a thing. And so the more that takes off, it's...
I absolutely love going to San Diego every year.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And when I go there, I don't get the impressions that you hear about in the news all the time from Los Angeles and the Bay Area. And maybe they are totally different. But in San Diego, I feel like, hey, it's just kind of Phoenix with a beach.
Still
like,
feels normal.
Chill.
Yeah, it still feels normal.
I don't know what it's like living there, but damn it, as a state as a whole, their policies, like, how do you not get upset where your tax dollars are being spent?
Yeah.
Out of control, dude.
We were talking about this the other day. Just it's crazy how much. So California, what I remember of this is historically, it's always kind of been like, depending on what city you live in, right? Like LA, San Diego. Like, there's a lot of people that work in those cities that can't afford to live there.
Yeah.
They live
tons of them
further away out on the outskirts. It's why their traffic is so congested. There's so many people that commute because they're working in places that they can't afford to live. That was never Phoenix's problem.
Yeah,
like
it is now.
That's what I'm saying is like that trickle effect and that the spread of that, that contagious mindset or economic lifestyle, whatever, however you want to classify it. But like we are slowly becoming, and you see that with the price of houses and the wages of jobs. And we have people that are living in the city that can't afford to buy houses here now. So it's spreading.
It's Phoenix. I can't remember.
It's not just Phoenix. It's all over.
No, but
yeah.
I can't remember. Phoenix in particularly, I just read a thing. I wish I could remember the numbers, but it's now one of the most unaffordable cities in the country.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Utah, did you see Utah was picked as the best state to live in?
I'm still not going to Utah.
I'm not either. But yeah, I saw that. I was going to link that. There was an article about that.
I don't know. Maybe it was Mormons.
And I don't know why. I don't know why it was. Maybe because the
like
Coyotes are going there?
No.
I'm kidding.
Fucking suck at Coyotes. Why would Utah be considered one of the best places to live?
I don't know.
Like, and who's decided that?
And their housing market, I think when we were doing that real estate stuff, I think it's very similar to ours. It's not
It crashed quite a bit.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe that's why they shot at the top.
they're like, it's beautiful scenery there, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you're a young person looking to party, I don't think Salt Lake's it,
No.
right? Like, there's a reason, like, a lot of
Lots of
athletes
dry counties.
don't want to play for the Jazz. Yeah,
Lots of dry
right.
counties.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to go to a strip club and get a fucking drink. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
I gotta
want
go
to
to the next state.
Yeah, I don't.
I gotta drive to Colorado.
I remember when I was doing training in Oklahoma, and you couldn't get like regular beer there.
Yeah.
You had to go across state lines to Texas to get the real beer.
Yeah.
And
It was
even
like a diluted alcohol percent.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even when I lived in Dallas, there's dry counties within Dallas. Like if you live in Phoenix, Maricopa County encompasses the entire valley.
Yeah.
But if you go to Dallas, there's multiple counties inside the city of Dallas. And I lived in a dry county unbeknownst to myself. So I had to fucking drive like
Different
15
county.
minutes to go to a liquor store.
It was like that when
so
I was
stupid.
I was in Illinois, and it was like that where
Same
we
deal?
lived. They wouldn't sell alcohol on Sundays,
Mhm.
and I want to say, I don't know if it was every night or just Saturdays. Like they would stop selling at midnight.
Really?
So like you had to go preload up on everything before you go party, because after midnight, like, you're not getting anything.
Dude, that's great. Where at in Illinois?
I was in a very small town called Charleston. It's about 4 hours south of Chicago and about
Okay.
3 hours east of St. Louis.
Okay.
So
St. Louis.
very close to Champaign, which is where the University of Illinois is.
I've been to Chicago multiple times. Love
Yeah.
Chicago. I've been to St. Louis a couple times. Shithole.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better. This is 20 years ago, but total shithole. When
Yeah,
I was
I was there probably 25 years ago, and there's definitely areas like East St. Louis. When I don't know what it is now
Yeah.
because I'm not there, but that was like, bad parts of Chicago. Like East St. Louis was like worse than
there. Yeah.
all the parts of
I
Chicago.
guess it was 25 years. I was probably there around the same
Yeah.
time you were.
Beautiful though. Everything's super green in the summer.
Missouri
like,
as a state was great. Yeah.
man,
It was really pretty.
amazing. We noticed too, like the people, even though there's, East St. Louis is not very friendly or whatnot, but
Mhm.
like when we flew into St. Louis and drove, like everybody was super friendly. People were holding doors, saying hello, saying good morning. I remember I had family members with me, and they weren't used to. Like, we're used to here when nobody talks to
Yeah.
you. Nobody, you hold the door for somebody, and you're like, "You're welcome," because nobody acknowledges you.
Yeah.
And they're like, my family's like, "Oh my god, everybody here is so nice." So
Yeah. I noticed that when I moved to Texas, like the attitude's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Phoenix.
a little more hospitality.
I've lived here for 7 years. I say hi to my neighbors sometimes, but I don't even know their name.
Yeah, yeah,
And I consider myself a friendly
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Going out of your way.
Yeah. Dude, we're
Uh,
coming up. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're at an hour and 16 minutes.
no,
Right there. Oh,
Well,
no, I'm
we
sorry. I'm
had-
sorry. No.
we had some filler.
We're at 58 minutes.
Yeah, let's say.
So let's go on to our favorite segment of the show.
Guaranteed. You know what button to hit?
Nope.
Doesn't know what button to hit. That is not our favorite segment, by the way.
Let's try this one. That one. There it is.
Second time's a charm. That first one though, that could be
What was that?
that could be an intro to a segment.
That was like a little dreamy, like where you
Little
kind of like
Tinkerbell.
no, like in the like a sitcom or something where all of a sudden
Where
you
they
start
think
thinking
of
about the
something.
past.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we can use that.
You got anything for Fireside? I got three things.
Do I?
I got three.
I guess not. I got nothing.
All right. So I have one of the things I put in here, and the reason I put this in here is visually very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The comments sections of this incident were very back and forth. So I kind of highlighted a couple pros and a couple cons. But this is like a 3 or 4 story apartment fire. I'm imagining because it's a brick building, it's somewhere either in the Midwest or back east.
Mm-hmm.
But it is blowing from second, third, at least like 2 occupancies up top. It looks like maybe it's coming I don't know if it's coming up through the roof or it's starting to look out, from the window over the eaves.
Yeah.
And this is from I don't do a very good job of plugging accounts, and I want to be able to say this is from an account called Good Dudes Put Out.
Yeah, they
And
do.
so this, but this is a firefighter account. and it's about firefighters putting out fires, right?
We do tag anything we find.
We always
in the
tag it, but I
comments.
feel like I should do a better job of mentioning certain accounts, especially for the Fireside, giving credit to. And I wish I knew what department this was. I would totally give you. Looks like it says East Cleveland firefighters.
All right.
So what you have here is you have this rip and fire. You have a battalion chief, it sounds like, or maybe just an incident commander. I don't know what his rank is, but he is giving orders face to face to crews down low, and he's telling them like, and you'll hear it, but he's like, "Hey, you need to get up there. You need to be aggressive. Go put this thing out. You got 60 seconds. If I don't notice, change 60 seconds. If you hear the air horns, we're going. We're pulling out." And so they end up making a stop. They come across this, but the comment section is very torn. So I'll let you play it. See what you think.
One push, let's go. You got 2 lines set up. Let's go.
This is helmet cam footage.
Go right up. Go right up and put this fucking fire out. Tim, check those stairs on too. It's right above you. Go knock this shit before it gets out of hand. Line's on the way in. I'm gonna call it in 1 minute, gentlemen. You got 1 minute to make a knock. I'm gonna start blowing air horns.
So you can see they obviously converted all. It's knocked down.
Yeah, not like look like they've jumped to them
towards the
getting
end.
Containment there. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did get the fire contained from the video. Unknown how this started. Unknown if there's victims trapped. Unknown what the outcome was at the end. But I mean, heavy involvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like there may be maybe some livable spaces to the left of the structure.
Hard to tell, yeah.
Hard to tell from the video, but so whoever the owner is of this account or whoever it is, but they say that this is their caption was that this is the absolute best example of command leadership and decision making on the fireground. Decisive, concisive, and then in all caps, aggressive. He sets a time back stop for interior crews. It's awesome. They say this is the exact same kind of leader who back at the firehouse will do an equal amount of work, if not more work around the house. Aggression on the fireground. Selfless service at the firehouse. That's what leaders are made of. And if you would say surround and drown, stay outside. Let your crew earn the paycheck and the gratitude of the taxpayer. You'll cash it on Friday and ask for your 10% discount anyways. So I did think that was funny. It's easy to watch that and get hyped up and jacked up like it's a hype video. One of the rebuttals, there was quite a few, but one of the ones that I focused on was said that this is actually trash leadership. Risk a lot to save a lot. If there isn't any life in danger, don't put yours in it. Surround and drown. Building is gone. Dudes be thinking they're slaying a dragon when it's just fire. Retire ASAP.
A couple things.
So again, you don't know. We don't have the PTI. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know what how far it's progressed. There's a lot of unknowns that we don't have going into
surface level. I'm going to say multiple occupancies at night. You would have to assume there's victims, right? Have to. Like, there's no way that place. I mean, maybe it's an abandoned building.
Sure.
But like just looking at it, I'd say like
looks residential.
There were probably a lot of families asleep in there 20 minutes ago, right?
Sure.
So like surround and drown. Like really, man, there's a lot of fire. First of all,
yeah,
it might not be a lot of fire. Sometimes shit looks impressive,
right?
And you can knock down pretty quick,
right?
But yeah, to say trash leadership, I thought that dude was pretty solid. Like, I don't want my chief up there yelling at me. Like, let my captain say something.
Sure, and maybe he was a captain. I don't know that he was a chief. I just know he's the incident commander. I would imagine if he was a captain on one of those rigs, he would have been in it.
But even for a chief, like if he's like in charge of a sector, saying, "Hey, interior, whatever sector he's in charge of, like, hey, if I don't see some change here in a couple minutes, like we're pulling out, like I get it, like, hey, like where are you at in this?"
And I think if you look at that construction, like that's a brick building. It's going to be pretty sturdy. It's going to be hotter than shit, but that's going to stand for a little bit. You've got some time. It sounded like it was. He had mentioned maybe it was in a stairwell, and I wonder if from the view of that, if some of the vertical, if some of that vertical extension where it looks like it's just a massive fire floor, I wonder if that's just in the stairwell.
It does look like a stairwell because if you kind of see it, I mean, I can't really pause it in the exact moment there. But
and it almost appears like it's in the corner of the building from that view, which would be consistent with possibly where a staircase would be.
I also hate in these videos where somebody comes back with such a strong opinion. Trash leadership. Like, dude, come on. Like, none of us were there. Like, what I can see in the video, I'm like, looks solid. Fuck.
Yeah. So definitely pretty cool. Definitely cool to see that. Definitely cool to see the stop. Definitely cool to hear somebody who is command saying,
I like the
"Let's
account
get it
fucking
on."
fires back at that guy. He's like, stay outside. No one needs you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm always too, like, I've never been an overly cautious person. Like, we have an inherently dangerous job, and I'm fine with that risk a lot to save a lot type mentality. Like, yeah, that's what we get paid for.
Well, and that's what was funny in that rebuttal. It says risk a lot, save a lot. If there isn't any life in danger, don't put yours in it. So how do you know there's not?
Exactly.
Like you said,
I would assume there's people there.
Clearly an apartment type, quad, duplex, whatever. It's 3-4 stories. It's nighttime. Like your first reaction is that there's people in there somewhere.
Absolutely, I would think that. And I mean,
unless you know it's an abandoned building, but even then they always say like, okay, it's an abandoned building. Well, how did the fire start?
Yeah,
there could still be people in there, right?
Bums for sure.
Bums. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was a pretty neat one to see. And actually, you know, we see so many of these videos with the fire, but to actually hear the audio and the...
Another comment, LOL, dying in a fire for nothing doesn't make you a hero. Sounds like you need to hear that. Go to a leadership school. Like,
yeah.
I don't think he said anything about like, we're going to get this fire no matter what it fucking takes, no matter how long it takes.
He said sometimes there's a risk.
You got a minute.
There's a risk, and you do have to be aggressive.
I'm talking specifically about the guy.
Yeah.
Like he said, you got a minute.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say anything about like, we are going to fucking stay in here. We're going to get this.
Yep.
He said, you got a minute making a good decision.
Like you said, sometimes it looks far worse than what we get in and put water on it and do something with. Like this could be one of those occasions where it is impressive. And that is a lot of fire. It's blowing, but it doesn't mean it's not going to go out quick.
Exactly.
You got to see what you got when you get in there.
I got to like some of this guy's comments. I like him firing back.
Yeah.
So this is what I need to do. I need to start trolling people. He's trolling. I like it. See.
But he's trolling. See previous comment.
Yeah.
But he's trolling them with like.
There's bravery and then there's stupid bravery. Like, what in this video is letting these people think that this is a dumb attack?
And another thing, like with these comments, like there's so many unknowns.
Exactly.
The people are commenting that the building's lost, that there's no life in there, that you shouldn't be risking anything at that point. But we don't know that on the front end, right?
Another guy, you stick to hitting it hard from the yard, let the real men go ahead and put out the fire.
So the other fireside, I got 2 more firesides, and they're both quick.
All right.
But this is just a good reminder. Don't play with fire. This is another homemade flamethrower.
Oh, he's got his fucking 3-year-old there too. That's cool.
And his daughter standing right there.
Yes.
So.
Butter, you're gonna blow the place up.
Damn! Fucking lit. Oh no!
That poor little girl's hair is torched, dude. She wasn't injured. For anybody who's listening and not watching this, he lights a bottle of something. I'm guessing it has oxygen or helium or something. And he lights it, and it spouts out this little flame spout, and his daughter's standing in the way of the blowtorch. That's her screaming. They show her immediately after. She's got a little bit of redness on her chest and a little bit on her face.
Definitely got some burnt off hair.
Her hair is one whole front section is burned off.
This guy was never in the military, because when you have something that's going to flash back like
you
that,
don't stand in front of it.
Well, you
clear.
You look behind out. Is back blast area clear?
Yeah.
Oh
So,
man, that poor girl.
I know. I'm glad she wasn't.
I know.
Totally injured. And then this last one is just a PSA. It's getting to be warm here, summertime. Make sure you watch your kids around water. Little man's getting it on the dive.
No. It's kind of like our backflip video.
Wow.
Oh! Good thing kids are made of rubber.
It's a good thing the person filming that is just holding the camera watching. So.
And then decided to make a fucking badass slow-mo video.
Yeah. Slow it down and put it to music.
This kid had probably done this 3 times before, and he's like, all right, Daddy, get it on video.
So little man standing on the edge of the board, trying to jump backwards or do a backflip or do something, and he mistimes it, and he kind of scorpions himself on the edge of the board. So just a reminder, watch kids around water. Don't leave them hanging.
Dude. Whew.
Put the phone down.
I did have a lot more to talk about now that I'm looking, but it's
too
late. It's too late.
Save it for next show.
Yeah. I had it from last show.
I know. I have some of those too.
So
it's going to be old news by then.
Again, when it comes to the fireside, we kind of want to hear your stories. Any calls you've had, any just cool things that have happened around the station or out and about while you're doing your job, just send us an email. You can come here to our website at thefiresideShow.com, and you can email us at contact@thefiresideShow.com. Or if you continue scrolling down here, you can just hit start record and record a fancy little message and send it to us and tell us your story. You can be anonymous. You can come on the show live and do it, which would be preferable. You could tell us to go fuck ourselves, whatever you want. The world is yours, but we do want to hear from you.
Yeah. I think we should start having a studio audience. We need to have 1 or 2 people in here have a drink with us.
We just don't have a lot of room.
We got laughs.
We could have enough room for a few people to have a drink.
1 or 2. Just come sit and have a drink and hang out. Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut when you get in here.
Yeah.
Though. We're the
Don't
stars.
speak unless you're spoken to, but just hang out.
If you want to watch us do our thing, then be in awe of that, yeah, come on down.
What's the give us a call 0000? Is there a way to?
We don't have a phone number.
Oh,
So
we
it's
make
just
one up.
it's a placeholder in there. We could get one. Just get a Google phone number. Just have people text us and voicemail drops all day long,
I love it.
telling us how
We'll put it on here. It'd
shitty
be like the
weird.
breakup line. Like you can give it to people when you want to give them a fake number. We'll just
Oh yeah.
have a segment
Did
of
you ever hear
everybody handing out our line.
Did you ever hear the one like
Maybe Tim McGraw will call us. No,
I bet
too soon. Oh,
the
all right.
the most immature breakup ever?
No.
So it's a lady who says she broke up with her boyfriend and he advertised this number like on Craigslist or whatever. He said, to win $1,000, call into this number with your best Chewbacca impression.
Was it hers?
Yeah. And so she's like, all day long, I get hundreds and hundreds and thousands of these things.
That's awesome, dude.
And she does it. She's like, one's coming in right now.
That's
all
awesome.
day long.
We need that.
That's funny.
We need that.
Yeah. So, okay.
Call us.
We'll get a fucking Google line. I'll put
All
it
right.
up there and you guys can tell
And
us.
a merch shop coming soon.
Oh, yeah, merch.
Got it.
All right. Hey, remember if you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Yeah.
Help
And
us
if you
out.
don't like it, just subscribe anyway or tell
Yeah, do
somebody
it.
about the show. Maybe they'll subscribe.
We're super needy. I like to see the likes.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple. Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Share it with your family. They're going to
YouTube.
get a kick out of it.
Some of the videos get banned real quick, so you got to be quick
Jump
on
on that
YouTube to
shit,
watch
yeah.
them.
But I guess that's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
All right. We'll see you next time on the Fireside.
Thanks for joining.